Every single day, you wake up with two choices: to step into your power or to repeat the patterns that keep you stuck. And the truth is this: your morning isn't just a routine, it's a strategy. It's the moment where you either prepare yourself to dominate your day or you unconsciously hand control over your stress, your fears, and your old habits, because your morning is the trigger point. It's the first battle of the day. And if you win that battle, momentum begins to work for you instead of against you. Your energy rises. Your focus sharpens. Your mind aligns with who you want to become, not who you were yesterday. You want to transform your life. You want to create unstoppable confidence, deep certainty, and the power to take massive action. Then understand this: your morning dictates your entire life. And today, I'm going to show you how to take back control starting from the moment you open your eyes. Your state is the foundation of everything you do. Before you answer a message, before you step into work, before you face the world, your state decides whether you show up as powerful or powerless, focused or distracted, driven or defeated. Most people wake up and immediately fall into reaction. They grab their phone. They check notifications. They let the world tell them how to feel. At the moment you surrender your state, you surrender your day. But when you decide, truly decide to master your state, the moment you wake up, everything changes. Winning the morning means taking control before life pulls at you from every direction. The morning is where your emotions get calibrated. If you start your day with chaos, if you begin your day with intention, strength, and clarity, you carry that with you into every situation. Your brain is most impressionable in the first few minutes after waking. This is the moment when you program your thoughts, your confidence, your belief system. If you fill those first moments with negativity, fear, or stress, you set yourself up for a day of struggle. But if you fill those moments with power, gratitude, movement, breath, certainty, you ignite a force inside you that becomes unstoppable. Your physiology is the fastest way to change your state. Move your body. Breathe deeply. Shift your posture, because motion creates emotion. You can't wake up slouched, tired, scrolling, and expect peak performance. Your body and your mind must work together. When you elevate your energy, you elevate your mindset. When your energy rises, your vision expands. Suddenly problems feel smaller. Solutions feel accessible. And obstacles become challenges you are ready to conquer. Winning the morning is also about directing your focus. Your mind will go wherever you train it to go. If you don't give it a target, it will drift toward fear, overwhelm, and distraction. But when you wake up and ask, what do I want to create today? Who do I want to be? What's one thing I can do to move closer to my vision? You begin the day with clarity. And clarity is power. It gives you direction, confidence, and momentum. Ultimately, mastering your state in the morning is an act of self-leadership. It's a declaration that you refuse to live life on autopilot. You refuse to let circumstances dictate your attitude. You refuse to let your old patterns decide your future. Each morning becomes a fresh opportunity to step into your potential, to raise your standard, and to build the emotional strength that shapes every other decision you make. Win the morning, and you don't just win the day, you win your life. Before the world starts pulling at you, before responsibilities stack up, before the noise of life floods your mind, you need a moment that belongs entirely to you. This is where priming your mind becomes a non-negotiable ritual. Most people wake up and immediately jump into the chaos emails, messages, social media problems waiting to be solved. They let the world decide their thoughts, their emotions, their energy. They step into the day already reacting instead of creating. But if you want to take control of your life, you must take control of your mind first. Your morning is the gateway to your mental power. And what you choose to feed your mind in those early moments shapes everything you do afterward. Priming your mind is about intentionally conditioning your thoughts to support the life you want, not the life you fear. You can't wake up and hope for motivation or confidence to magically appear. You create it, you generate it. You build it deliberately. Start your morning by filling your mind with something empowering: gratitude, powerful questions, visualization, incantations, or even a few minutes of silence where you reconnect with your vision. When you do this, you direct your brain to look for opportunities instead of limitations, to seek solutions instead of stress, to move forward instead of shrinking back. Your brain is like a muscle, and the morning is your warm-up. If you don't prime it, it defaults to survival mode, worrying, protecting, avoiding, doubting. But when you consciously prime your mind, you activate a different part of yourself. You awaken creativity, courage, clarity, and drive. You remind yourself of what matters. You reconnect with your goals, your identity, your purpose. You step into your day with the energy of someone who chooses their path rather than someone who drifts through it. Priming also protects you. The world is full of negativity, distraction, comparison, and pressure. If you don't strengthen your mind before stepping into it, the world will overwhelm you. But when you start your day grounded, centered, and intentional, you become unshakable. You don't absorb negativity, you deflect it. You don't lose focus, you reinforce it. You don't react emotionally, you respond strategically. You move through the day with inner certainty because you've already created the emotional blueprint for how you want to live. And this isn't about perfection, it's about preparation. It's about saying, before anything else, I choose who I am going to be today. That decision alone can shift the trajectory of your actions, your results, and even your future. When your mind is primed with power, everything you do throughout the day becomes more intentional, more effective, and more aligned with your highest self. Prime your mind before the world demands anything from you, and you create a life driven by purpose instead of pressure. You step into each day not as a reactor, but as a creator. And that is where true transformation begins. The greatest transformations in life rarely come from huge, dramatic changes. They come from small, consistent rituals that, over time, create unstoppable momentum. Your morning is the perfect place to build these rituals because it's the one part of the day you can truly control. Most people underestimate the power of small habits. They think they need massive motivation or a perfect plan to change their life. But the truth is, the smallest morning rituals done with intention can shift your identity, your energy, and eventually your destiny. Think about it. Every action you take in the morning sends a message to your brain about who you are becoming. When you hydrate first thing in the morning, you're telling yourself, I take care of my body. When you make your bed, you're saying, I create order in my life. When you sit down for 3 minutes of focused breathing, gratitude, or visualization, you're building the identity of someone who leads their mind instead of letting it wander. These rituals seem small, but they create emotional momentum. And momentum is the invisible force that separates those who merely want change from those who create it. Consistency compounds. One small ritual every day might not feel like much in the moment, but multiply that ritual over weeks, months, and years, and it becomes a solid foundation for self-discipline and self-belief. Morning rituals aren't just tasks, they're signals to your subconscious. They tell your mind, this is who I am now. And when your identity shifts, your actions naturally follow. Most people try to change their behavior without changing their identity, and that's why they struggle. Small rituals bypass that resistance. They build identity quietly one morning at a time. Small rituals also eliminate decision fatigue. When you start your day with a simple routine, you reduce mental chaos. You don't waste energy on, should I? Or maybe later. You create certainty. You save your mental bandwidth for the challenges and opportunities that actually matter. This is how high performers operate. They automate small things so they can dominate big things. Over time, these rituals create a sense of control, stability, and confidence. They turn your morning into a runway, a place where you gather speed, clarity, and purpose before you take off into your day. And when you start with momentum, everything becomes easier. You think more clearly, you act more boldly, you make better decisions. You show up as the version of yourself that is capable of achieving your highest goals. Small morning rituals may seem insignificant, but they are the seeds of massive transformation. Plant them consistently, nurture them daily, and you will grow into a version of yourself that feels powerful, disciplined, and unstoppable. Because the truth is simple, your morning rituals don't just shape your day, they shape your future. Energy is the starting point of every breakthrough, every decision, and every achievement. Without energy, even the greatest goals feel heavy. Without energy, opportunities pass by because you don't have the internal fuel to chase them. And this is why moving your body early in the morning is one of the most powerful success strategies you can adopt. Your physiology controls your psychology. If your body is sluggish, your mind becomes sluggish. If your energy is low, your confidence drops. But when you elevate your physiology first thing in the morning, you ignite a level of mental power, clarity, and confidence that carries into everything you do. When you move your body early, you're not just exercising, you're activating the systems that make you feel alive. Your blood flows, your oxygen rises, your brain wakes up, and your internal energy grid switches from survival mode to peak performance mode. Even a few minutes of stretching, walking, jumping, or breathing can rewire your emotional state. Motion creates emotion. You can't stay stressed, anxious, or unfocused when your body is fully awake and charged. You shift from reactive to proactive, from tired to driven, from scattered to center. Most people think they need motivation to move, but it's the opposite. Movement creates motivation. When you move your body, you produce dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins, your brain's natural confidence and happiness chemicals. These chemicals set the tone for your entire day. They make challenges feel manageable, decisions feel clearer, and your goals feel within reach. You begin to operate from strength, not exhaustion. You begin your day with agency rather than inertia. Moving your body in the morning is also a powerful act of self-respect. It tells your mind, I am worth the effort. My health matters. My goals matter. This simple action reinforces the identity of someone who takes charge of their life instead of waiting for life to happen. And identity is everything. When you consistently show up as someone who chooses energy over stagnation, that identity begins to bleed into your career, your relationships, your discipline, and your dreams. Early movement also sets your focus. It grounds you in the present moment. It pulls you out of overthinking and into action. It connects you to your physical power, which then unlocks your mental and emotional power. You start the day with momentum instead of resistance. And momentum, once created, becomes hard to stop. It carries you into better decisions, better habits, and stronger consistency. This isn't about doing a perfect workout or spending an hour at the gym. It's about choosing to activate your life force as soon as the day begins. Even 5 minutes can transform your internal world. The key is intentionality. Move your body early so you can move your life forward. When you start your day with high energy, everything you touch is influenced by that power. Energy is the foundation of achievement. When your energy rises, your life rises. And it all starts the moment you choose to move. Clarity is one of the greatest forces you can bring into your life. Without clarity, even the strongest effort becomes scattered. You wake up, you move, you work, but you lack direction. And when you lack direction, you waste energy on things that don't move you forward. That's why setting intentions in the morning is far more powerful than simply creating plans. A plan tells you what to do. An intention tells you how to show up, why it matters, and who you are becoming in the process. Plans guide your actions, but intentions guide your state, your mindset, and your identity. And when these are aligned, you step into your day with a level of power most people never access. Most people start their day reactive. They think about what they have to do and immediately feel overwhelmed or stressed. But when you set an intention, something as simple as today I led with patience, or today I speak with confidence, or today I take one bold step toward my future. You take back control of your inner world. You give your mind a filter, a target. And your mind by design seeks to fulfill whatever target you give it. Intention is like a compass. It points you toward the emotional and mental state you want to embody. Clarity also removes confusion. When you know what matters today, distractions lose their power. You're less likely to get pulled into drama, busy work, or negative thinking. Become someone who moves through the day with purpose. Challenges feel less like obstacles and more like opportunities to reinforce your intention. And that's how people grow, not by avoiding difficulties, but by facing them with a clear internal standard for how they want to respond. Setting intentions is different from traditional goal setting. A plan might say, I need to finish this project today, but an intention says, I will bring focus, creativity, and discipline to this project. And when you combine both the external plan and the internal commitment, you become unstoppable. You're not just checking off tasks, you're shaping your character. You're becoming the type of person who consistently follows through. Clarity also builds confidence. When your mind knows exactly what you're moving toward, doubt begins to fade. You're no longer wandering, you're creating. You're no longer reacting, you're leading. Even small intentions, consistently set, build a powerful sense of self-trust. Every day, you reinforce the message, I am in control of my life. And here's the most empowering part. Clarity compounds. The more intentional you become each morning, the more aligned your decisions become. Your priorities sharpen. Your energy rises. Your habits strengthen. Your future becomes less of a mystery and more of a creation. You start living proactively instead of drifting mindlessly through your days. Clarity creates power because it turns your morning into a launch pad, your mind into a weapon, and your decisions into purposeful steps toward your highest potential. Set intentions, not just plans, and you'll stop living by accident and start living by design. Your morning is more than a routine. It's the daily doorway to the life you say you want. Every choice you make from the moment you open your eyes sends a message to your mind about who you are and what you stand for. When you choose intention instead of impulse, movement instead of stagnation, clarity instead of chaos, you build a life rooted in strength, purpose, and momentum. The truth is, transformation doesn't happen in giant leaps. It happens in these small, consistent decisions you make every single morning. If you want a different life, build a different morning. Prime your mind, elevate your energy, anchor yourself in clarity, and step into your day as the creator, not the reactor. Because when you own your morning, you own your power. And when you own your power, there is nothing in your life you cannot transform. Your future begins the moment you decide to rise with intention.